Alright, so take the 1 3/4 scallop circle punch again, and you're going to want to take it all the way down, all the way so that the card hits the back of the punch, and sort of try and make it even from the scallop edge to the side of the card, to the bind of the card, like that. Hopefully you can see that. Just lift a little. Right, and just punch that out. You're going to do the same with this as you did with the very vanilla cardstock. So you're going to punch it with the 1 3/4 inch punch, scallop circle punch. And then you're going to take your 2 3/8 scallop circle punch, and you're going to make that same design, that same border. Alright. And again, this is the Autumn Spice designer paper from Stampin' Up. Okay, so then you're going to put some glue on the back of this, and glue it to this piece. And you're going to want to line it up. And glue those two pieces together. Okay, so for you guys at home, when you do this, you're going to want to glue the side with the tape to the Autumn Spice piece. I glued the opposite side, and that's not what you want to do. Okay. Then you're going to take the piece that you just cut out. This is the 1 3/4 inch piece, scallop piece. I'm going to sponge it a little bit with some Old Olive and some Pacific Point. So I'm going to sponge it with the Old Olive first. I didn't do this on the first one, and I'm kind of regretting it, so it's okay though. Okay, and now Pacific Point. Just a little bit on the edges of the Pacific Point. You want to go in a little bit deeper with the Old Olive into the cardstock. Again, this is very vanilla cardstock, in case I didn't mention that before. Okay, and then keeping those out, start with the Pacific Point, and then go with the Old Olive, and ink up the stamp. It was this is from the same For Everything stamp set. It's just this kind of pretty flower. Sort of looks like a star flower or something. So my camera cut out right at a pretty inopportune time. I didn't even know it had cut out. So I stamped the image of the flower from the For Everything stamp set, and you saw that I sponged around. I used dimensionals to attach this, which are these. I took one dimensional and I cut it in half, because I feel like you can make your dimensional stretch a little bit by doing that. And then I took this Happy Mother's Day stamp from this stamp set. It is the All Holidays stamp set from Stampin' Up. And I did the same technique where I took the Pacific Point and the Old Olive ink pads from Stampin' Up, and I just inked it up really well in the Pacific Point, and then I did the rocking technique and the kind of tap, tap, tap technique on the old olive. And then I stamped it, and that's what that looks like. When you adhere this piece, I made a mistake. Before I put this piece on, I should have taken it, closed it, so you would just go through and draw really lightly with the pencil around the scallops on this side. So you close it and just draw in through, so that you could place this piece evenly and it would fit really well inside of the window. Now what we're going to do real quick is I'm going to use So Saffron and Marina Mist, and I'm going to sponge the outside of the card, the front of the card. You're going to ink. You can use sponges from Stampin' Up! Or makeup sponges, makeup wedges if you have them, and just really, really gently kind of dab the So Saffron onto the front of the card. And it doesn't take much at all. You really don't have to do much at all, because you kind of want just sort of a slight, almost quilted look. At least that's what it looks like to me. And you might get a few areas that are a little darker. That's fine. It's all in your own artistic eye. Okay, so that's all you do with that. You take the Marina Mist and the new makeup wedge or sponge. And then that one's going to come off a little darker, so you'll probably do a little less of that. Okay, alright. Hopefully you can see that. It's just a really light little bit, but it adds a little something extra to it that I like. I'm going to use the Old Olive and the Pacific Point, and I'm going to sponge around the card, around the edges of the card. So first I'm going to use the Old Olive, and I've got a makeup sponge for that one, or a makeup wedge for that one. And I'm just gonna, I like to do my corners a little bit darker than everything else. And you're gonna go in not too deep into the card with the Old Olive, but a decent amount. It'll be pretty dark. And also, if you find that you've got an overlap at all on the inside of the card, you might want to open your card a little. Make sure your other stamp pads are out of the way so that you don't make a mess of it. Okay, so that's what the Old Olive looks like, sponged. You take the Pacific Point, and this is a corner cut of my Stampin' Up! Sponge. So don't go so deep into the card with the Pacific Point. Just really kind of get the edge. Go a little deeper in on the corners, not as deep as the Old Olive, but still a little deeper than you do along the edges. That's it. That is our beautiful Mother's Day card. I've enjoyed doing this project with you. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it, and thank you for joining me. Happy stamping!